Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shabbat, shalom. Shabbat, shalom.
Kohaloim la alahaya nawa Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi Bahashem THAWADAH. And in the Hebrew tongue, that just means all praises, honor, and glory to our power, our God, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, man. And to you, sincere Akim and Aqua that are tuning in. Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom to you.
Shabbat, shalom, Yasharallah. All right, we are your brothers, boys, be Yahawashi, out here in H-Town, pushing the good news of the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahawashi, God, the downfall of Babylon, a.k.a. America. All right, THAWADAH, Yahawah, let's put the spirit on us and come out here to feed the sheep. Like the scripture says, if you love me, feed my sheep. The Lord willing, we're going to feed you some arroz con gandules, you know, some of that soul food, all right? All right? Shalom, shalom, Aki, shalom. Yahawah Shalom, Yahawah Shalom. Water for tuning in. All right, shalom. Man, y'all all here, shit. All right. So the spirit came on to us yesterday, last night actually, while we was doing the lesson all y'all paying attention, and it hit me. I'm like, yo, we're literally in the beginning. Yep. We're literally in the beginning, right? And so we're like, fuck it, we're gonna do a lesson going into it's only the beginning. We're literally just in the beginning. The beginnings of what? Sorrow. So get that. Matthew chapter 24, start at 6 to 8.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6 through 8. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
And we're hearing that right now. Every day. Every fucking day. If it's not on the news, you're reading articles. You come across like posts on social media platforms or what? We're constantly hearing wars, rumors of wars, right? Taiwan is getting ready to be invaded by China, if I'm not mistaken. The whole Russian-Ukrainian thing. Apparently, there was a threat, a rumor that in Finland, if I'm not mistaken, Finland was joined NATO, that in Russia or sort of problem. Yeah, and apparently Finland fucking joined NATO. All right, so we can see what that third war coming quickly. All right, but
see, will ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. All these things, all these prophecies need to come to pass. It needs to be fulfilled, but it's not the end. Again, it is only the beginning.
Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation.
And we're seeing that. And mind you, we're seeing that right now. We're seeing nations rising up against one another. All right. Verbally at the moment. All right. And of course, Russia, Ukraine, they were fucking hit each other with bombs and missiles and shit. But all right. But yeah, we see it. We see nations rising up against one another.
And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
So while there's while the prophets are hearing wars and rumors of wars, we're also seeing what? Nations rising against nations, kingdoms against kingdoms, and while that is happening, you got the famines that's growing. And while the famines is here, you got pestilences that's going on too. And then while the pestilences are here, you got earthquakes in diverse places. So you got shortages happening right now. Shortages of what? On baby formula, oil, wheat, gas. Apparently a so-called famine, shortage on electricity. Right? There's a shortage going on. Okay,
this is all just the beginning, man.
It's all just the beginning. And pestilences. Apparently you got a human being. Apparently that got caught up with the bird flu. How you a human being, but you got the bird flu, man? Right, right. But I'm just saying, we got pestilences, just coming out like fucking clockwork. Okay, and while that's happening, you got the earthquakes in diverse places. You got actual so-called natural disasters, but earthquakes also goes into what? Commotion, uproars. chaos, riots, right? Yeah. And then what? Verse 8 is what?
Verse 8. All these are the beginnings of sorrow.
Just the beginning. So buckle up. Enjoy the motherfucking that drop in the roller coaster. Go up and then stop a little bit.
And that shit just take the fuck off.
Shoot. And what's
Straight
that?
down.
What's that scripture? Habakkuk 2 and 3 would say, though it tarry, wait on it. And we on that roller coaster. It feels like that drop is delayed.
Yep.
But then what? That drop shall surely come.
Yep. Suddenly too.
And that's what? Hell gonna break loose. And then once you drop down, what? You just in that adrenaline. You just
yeah.
Woo! That's what it's gonna be like out here. People gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? You know that drop. All right. We're just in the beginning. All right. So, I'm keeping that paper. Hold on. I'm gonna get this right now. All right. All right. So the brother just read the beginnings of stories, right? So I'm going to read from the LSV version, right? The book of Second Esdras, chapter 16. I'm gonna start at 17, all the way through 22. Okay. And it says, woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? So Esdras, he received these visions, and he saw how terrible it's going to be out here. He saw people eating one another. He saw people invading one another for the lack of bread, famine, shortages, right, of food, right, starvation, hunger. He saw other prophecies that you read in First Esdras, Second Esdras. He saw them, and he saw how terrifying he was. He even saw nukes hitting his bitch. But at the time, he didn't know that the nukes were named nukes.
Missile.
He just looked at them as
arrow.
It looks like an arrow, right? But he saw how chaotic it's going to get, how chaotic it's going to get out here. And because he said, "Woe is me, woe is me," who will deliver me in those days? That's one of many proof that reincarnation exists. Esdras knew that he's going to eventually be reincarnated and live that moment. He's gonna be part of that time where where our power is gonna start showing us signs and let us know, like, hey, I'm about to do what I did to Egypt. All right, but worse. Okay. So verse 18, the beginning of sorrows, and there will be great mourning. The beginning of famine, and many will perish. The beginning of wars, and the powers will stand in fear. The beginning of evil, bad times, right? And all will tremble. It says all will tremble, not some. All of you are going to tremble. All right, it doesn't matter how much macho you are. If you got some kind of special forces background, Navy, some kind of military background, right? Doesn't matter how much of a man you are in this world, you're going to tremble. You're going to be in fear. And the times we're coming into, okay? All right? And it says, what will they do in all this when the evils will come? So while you 2/3 and you other nations, everyone that does not fear YAHAWAH BAHASHAM are going to do when all of this happens. The beginning of wars, the beginning of famines, the beginning of sorrows, all hell break loose, and then we're no longer in the beginning. We're in the middle of it. We're in the middle where it's very hot. All right, we like that scripture says, what ye shall do in the day of the Lord's visitation. Paraphrase. What are you gonna do when prophecies is no longer knocking on your door and kick the bitch in, and now you getting fucked up by these prophecies? You experiencing being hungry, thirsty,
personally too,
being dirty as fuck. You got nowhere to sleep. You got no water to bathe in. You just catching pure fucking hell. All right. Verse 19. Behold, famine and pledge, suffering and anguish, they are set as scourges for an amendment. So all of these prophecies, right, all of these evils, these pledges, the famines, judgment is set as your father got that belt. He's gonna whoop your ass to correct you, right? These judgments are meant to scourge you as an amendment to punish you. All right. So let's say someone receives some kind of judgment where you die of a famine, a slow death. That's just Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi whooping your ass with a belt. Damn.
That's harsh, man.
That's deep. That's our fathers hitting you with a fucking a damn a precious stone chancleta. A chancleta made out of precious stones is whooping your ass because you was fucking evil as fuck in 2/3, okay? All right. Verse 20. But for all these things, they will not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of scourges. So you're gonna have people out here that's catching pure fucking hell. It's just so many signs out here that okay, Yahawah Yahawashi is here. He's making it known for all these prophecies going on. But people are still not going to turn from their wicked ways. They still going to be wicked as fuck. All right. 21. Behold, food will be sold for cheap. And the King James version goes into victuals. Not be so good cheap, right? Behold, food will be so good cheap upon earth that they will think themselves to be in good case. And even then, the evils grow upon the earth: sword, famine, and great confusion. So while the gas is constantly increasing, people just fucking ignoring it. While the news, Fox News, and all these different platforms are talking about the baby formula shortages. You got these our stupid ass Eves making TikTok videos eating baby formula. Right. That's them scoffing at our power, making videos going into of the evils that we are approaching, making funny ass so-called funny videos about famine. There's gonna be this very same people that's gonna die from that shit, Lord willing. All right. Again, behold, food will be so good cheap upon earth. So things will still be affordable. You being able to get lit on the weekends is still affordable. You being able to put a roof over your head is still affordable. You being able to put gas in your Babylonian vehicle is still affordable, right? Things are still affordable, all right? So because of that, what? People think that they're in a good case, all right? And while that's going on, you got evils that's being concocted in the fucking in the pot, right? And at some point, it's going to fall, right? It's going to fall and make a hot mess, all right? They will think themselves to be in a good case, and even then, will evil, bad time, grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. We got a lot more people. We got a lot of people that's so fucking confused right now. While all of this going on, they still can't see like, something ain't right. Something's about to happen. All right, but then
it's
again,
all over the news. It's in public at the gas station. The prices are running higher, and nobody still sees it, man. None of these people see this shit, man. They don't see. They just drive by. They honk their horns at us and shit, and then they don't realize what we saying is true, man. It's foretold. It's about to happen.
Like that scripture goes into that pretty much our power got people in that gross darkness. They got them in that spirit of being confused blind. All right, so they can't see. At the end of the day, hey, like the scripture says, pretty much at the end of the day, even though people are under that gross darkness, we still gotta warn you so we can get the blood off our hands. Okay. All right, verse 22. For many of those who dwell upon earth will perish of famine, will perish of hunger, starvation, and the other that escape the famine. So those who are going to escape the famine will the sword destroy, and the sword is who? Esau Edom. So you may escape the famine, but Esau Edom's going to catch you slipping. He going to kill you. It's true. with this blessed sword. All right, and Esau's blessed sword today is so great that it comes in many forms. They got drones that's so little that it could be like a platoon size of these drones that can go through a fucking bamboo forest. You know how tight the spaces are, and they can maneuver. Yeah. They can maneuver that bitch, quietly.
They getting ready for when Dick try to run through the forest and shit.
And these shits got fucking guns on.
They gonna be able to move. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Precise precision.
So yeah. So this is all just the beginning.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5 and verse 16. When I shall send upon them block before you get This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5 and verse 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. And I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread.
Okay. All right, so the brother just read about what? The evil arrows of famine, the evil arrows of shortages, okay? And the evil arrows of starvation. And what? It's going to increase, right? And we see it. We're seeing the shortages increasing. But the only way you can be able to see it, you gotta have that veil removed off your eyes. You gotta have that YAHAWAH, Holy Spirit. You gotta walk in the Spirit, YAHAWASHI W4Y, to truly see this. And we see it.
Let me get 17 too.
Come on, get it.
This is verse 17. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee. And I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, has spoken it. So our power is now going to set famine, right? People dying by starvation. But they're also going to be put to death. They're going to be judged by evil beasts, right? And not only by evil beasts, right? Also by pestilence, diseases, right? Viruses, right? Whether it's already in a capsule in Esau's lab, or it's going to be something made directly from our power divinely, something that the world has never seen before. All right? And if not that, Esau Edom, for sure. Esau Edom is going to get your ass, okay? So the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22, 23, and 24. And suddenly will the sown places appear unsown, and suddenly goes into unexpectedly, all at once, out of the blue, without warning. It's just going to happen like that. I'm just throwing out, examples, right? You go shopping tonight, because it's a Sabbath, right? But just saying, if you're at the grocery spot and you're doing some grocery shopping right today, then you go again tomorrow morning, the whole store is like damn near like 80% empty. But the day before it was like 80% full. But now it's like 60% empty. So now it's like 20% full, right? Suddenly, these supermarkets, these places of business that sells, right? Their products, their inventory. The inventory is going to appear suddenly unsold like that over fucking night, man. They're gonna have to start rationing.
Yep.
Putting only a certain amount to the public that they can only have or receive.
That's already happening with the baby formula.
Yep.
With the baby formula shortages, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Walgreens. It's one of these.
Yeah, it is Walgreens.
I think it's Walgreens, if I'm not mistaken, where they are now having to ration their baby formula products. All right. So just imagine when they're going to do that with chicken, beef, clean meats, right? Just meats in general, right? Or food, water, medicine, right? They're going to start rationing. Let's say, you have a family and you normally get like 2 packs of 12 pieces of chicken wings and bones, right? But now you can only get one. And then times won't get to the point where this damn devils may start packaging it to where there's no longer 12 packs. There's no longer 12 in the pack. It's 6 in the pack. See? It's gonna come shorter. Right? So and the food storehouse will suddenly be found. And storehouses go to like warehouses, right? So these warehouses are also going to be found suddenly unsold. They're going to be empty as well too. And if the warehouse is empty, you best believe the sales floor is going to be empty too, right? And then when you go into that word, storehouses, the similar terms, one of the similar terms would be armory. So there's also going to be shortages of ammo, of ammunition, because what? People are already buying it, and people are going to start what? Looting, rioting these gun stores, these armories, and taking ammo because what? It's going to be all hell breaking loose. A first like society, the upcoming civil war, what these damn devils called it not too long ago, Civil War 2.0. Yep. All right. Let me get this last one. And mind you, so when that squeeze gets tighter, right? When the beginning, the fire of this beginning gets more hotter as time goes on, people start feeling that squeeze. People start losing their source of income. You know, their mindset is going to start changing. They're going to start thinking more survival instead of being friendly. All right, and when that happens, right, this is one of many things that's going to happen. In verse 24, at that time, will friends make war one against another like enemies. So those who you consider your friend, you're going to fight him, fight her like an enemy. And what do enemies do when they fight? They fight to the death, man. Fight to the death. All right. And it says, at that time will friends make war one against another like enemies. And the earth will stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the springs will stand still. So the springs of the mountain, right? So that for 3 hours they will not run. So it's gonna come to a point where Jake and Eve's gonna wake up one morning, try to brush their fucking dragon breath, right? You know, Eve's gonna try to wash her fucking her tongue from sucking so many dick last night on your fans, right? The water ain't running. Now you walking around with fucking cum nut, smell in your mouth and shit. You know, Jake walking around with black and mouth smell in his mouth and shit, right? Right? The water ain't gonna be running. You're gonna try to take a shower. The water ain't running. You're gonna put on cold, even cold water's not running. Hot water's not running. All right? You're gonna try to take a shit. You're gonna take a shit, try to flush the toilet. Ain't gonna flush.
Be right there.
You're gonna have a shit turn. You're gonna have Mr. Hanky just floating in shit. All right? Eve gonna be on her period. She's gonna try, sit down in the toilet. Blood is gonna be sitting there. And mind you, when the woman's on her period, that shit stink. Hell yeah. All right. So just imagine you're not able to flush the toilet, and she's on her period. You know that blood is just sitting in the toilet with shit and piss. It's gonna stink, right? And that comes with what at some point? Pestilence. It can get you sick, infection. Okay? All right, so come to a point where people are not going to have the luxury to be able to drink water from a fountain, to use water how we're using it today, okay? Because what? It's going to stand still for a period of time. These damn devils are going to engineer it. They're going to control when, at what time during the day, for how long the water will run, right? And not many people are going to have that luxury. So people are going to what? Try to fight one. They're going to try to fight each other like enemies. To be the first one to shower. To be the first wave to get water. All right.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11 and 12. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst of water, but of hearing the word of the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Verse 12.
Also, right? So we already know that there's already a famine when it comes to the lack of bread, food, water, medicine, whatever is considered as a essential item for for society to run here in Babylon, right? A shortage in period, right? But here, according to this, in terms of the context, goes into now it's going to be a famine of having access to receive these lessons, this word, man, right? To get fed, because people are going to start looking for answers, but they're not going to find it, because instead of clicking on the video on YouTube, when Jake and Eve, on YouTube, they have like recommendations.
Yeah.
Right? They see one of our videos, but they rather click on a video that has nothing. It's just filled with fucking folly. It's just stupid. They want to watch a video of a bitch eating. They want to watch a video of some something stupid, something retarded.
Bitch eating a fucking dog, man.
Yeah. Right?
Come on, man.
Something of this world, but they won't click on that lesson. And not knowing that lesson, it could save their life. All right?
This is verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and shall not find it.
So for an example, right, when they say they shall go from sea to sea, just paraphrasing, right? People are going to try to go through YouTube, through the internet in general, to try to find any lesson, right? Started from GMS, Virgins Island Straight Gate, Men of Valor, Voice of Yahawashi, all the Akim that teach, the like-minded brothers that teach the same doctrine. Our lessons are not going to be available. It's not going to be up there for people to find it. And then you see, for example, you see all these people fucking driving, right? Just driving,
honking and fucking horns and shit.
Not taking into consideration. Like maybe I should stop, and see what
they're talking about.
They just driving,
laughing.
These very fuck nuts, when they start catching hell, they're gonna try to come. They're gonna remember this very location where we at, right? And all the brothers are where the people at their city remember the Akim teaching that. These people are going to try to go back to that location and not find them. Because what? Amos, chapter 8, verse 11 and 12. All right? The prophets ain't going to be out here because what? All hell going to be breaking loose. I don't know about y'all, but when these damn doves come down with that great wrath,
we ain't going to be nowhere to be found, man.
I'm not going to be out here teaching. Shit, I'll be hiding. All right? All right?
That was it, though.
Oh, if you want to get that,
get that. I'm gonna see what the brothers got up there while you look for that. Damn, you already lined up the combo already. I'm gonna start with the 12, 13, 15. Yeah, I'm gonna start with this one first. You got it already? No. Oh shit! All right, you got it. Yeah. This is a precept to Amos chapter 8 and 11 and 12. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 26. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house.
So during that famine of hearing his word, right? Let's say the prophets come across a 2/3, right? Or a group of the 2/3, right? And they're like, oh, I recognize him. Oh, that's Elder Tar, Elder Gabar, Elder Rama, Elder Rakal, right? This is this brother from this camp, this brother from that camp. Oh, that's Shawana from Voice of Yahawashi. That's Oz from Voice of Yahawashi Toronto. Oh, that's Brother Monarch's out from Jersey. That's Brother Nohar and his cousin from Idaho. Oh, that's Brother Brother Mafia, Brother Anum out there in Asia, right? Right? Brother Shabab, right? Brother Asma, right? The list goes on, right? But because that a 2/3 came across a prophet doesn't mean that the 2/3 is going to receive answers. Why? Because Yahawah, YAHAWASHI are going to put the spirit on that prophet to not be able to prove her. He ain't going to say shit. He's going to look at you silently. He ain't going to answer your question.
Hell yeah.
All right, so and you know how terrifying that is. Like like you catch a pure fucking hell. You're really trying to find answers, and then boom, you come across a prophet, and you like damn, and like probably your hope, this one a prophet. You don't know, come on, you know how the 2/3 be, right? Come on, right? But then they come across a prophet, ask a question, the prophet will be like this.
Hey, it says in the scriptures.
It's quiet as fuck.
It says in the scriptures, thou shalt be dumb. We ain't gonna say shit, man.
All right. If you want, you can get the Isaiah 19:2, the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And I'm gonna get Isaiah 13:16. Isaiah 19:2.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 19 and verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother.
So the Egyptians against the Egyptians. You Babylonians. All right? AKA Americans. So the Americans versus the Americans are going to be fighting against the Americans. Okay? What?
And everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
That sounds like what? Civil War 2.0. All right? You're going to have people within the state. You're going to have cities going against cities. Americans going against themselves, each other, right? You're going to have 2/3 even going against each other, right? It's just going to be different kinds of like fight wars going on in Babylon. That's why you can call it a Civil War 2.0, right? Because pretty much Babylon is going to become a battlefield itself, a place for war. All right. So the brother got that. And the times we're coming into, this is what about to happen to a lot of people. All right. It says there, Isaiah 13, chapter 6. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 16. And it says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. So people with children, right? I'm gonna say the 2/3, right? For 2/3 of our nation that has children that brought forth fruit into this wicked ass place, right? Are going to literally witness their children, their sons, their daughters be put to death in a very gruesome way, right? You may see your child experience like some Final Destination kind of death, crazy shit, all right? Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravaged. So people are going to experience their houses, their place of dwelling, being ambushed, right? They're going to be ambushed, and whatever resources they have is going to be taken, all right? And resources comes in many forms. Because what you said after that, your wife shall be ravished, right? So women are going to be considered as a resource or a spoil to be used for someone's sexual needs. pleasure. Okay? And no, ravish means rape. I'm just saying the way it is, rape. All right? A lot of you women gonna get fucking raped. And Lord willing, no, Lord will happen very soon. Because there's too many women here spiteful as fuck, and they just want to continue ignoring the signs.
I don't need a man. I don't need
You
a
don't
man.
need a man.
All right.
You want to be on OnlyFans. You want to continue prostitute yourself on social media. That's if you really think about it, that's what the women on social media is really doing. They're advertising themselves by what? By the kinds of photos they take. And because of that, you got some creepy ass, pedos out here that's pretty much window shopping right now.
Yep.
So when all hell break loose, they're gonna remember where you live, where you normally take your pictures at. They're gonna take your ass. They're gonna ravish you, gonna violate you, stupid ass. Okay?
They're gonna remember your snap. All the snaps you done been sending, they're gonna have all your little pictures on them.
Especially all you so-called men that have a woman. Your woman's gonna get raped right in front of you. And your woman that has a so-called man, a high-value man, when he sees your ass getting raped, he might go dip on you.
He gonna be as a woman.
He gonna be like a woman. He gonna dip. Shit, hey, mind you, like the scripture says, we're coming to a time like never before. Hey, shit, the husband may get ravished while his wife getting ravished. They're gonna be getting ravished in the same room together. Y'all gonna get double ravished together. Yo, it sounds crazy, but yo, don't put a limit onto the king of terrors, El Shaddai. All right, don't do it. All right, so
Demon like power, man.
Yep, he will bring your fears to life, even the fears that you don't know about come to life.
That scripture goes into, I will use your delusions against you.
Fine. Yep.
Your fears.
Yeah, I have one more. This one, second address. Chapter 15.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 14 and through 18. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction dwelleth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
So it says, woe, destruction, right, to the world and those that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draws near. Right? So your judgment day, the month, the day, the year, the second, the minute, the hour draws near where you're going to be visited by YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. All right, you got it?
Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
It says, for there will be sedition among men, and waxing strong one against another. They will not regard their king nor the chief of their great ones and their might. And we already seen that for an example. What's going on with those LAPD cops right now?
They get
their ass whooped by those California, by those out there who live in California, right? They getting their ass whooped by the working class people. You can look at those police officers as the princes, right? As the chief of the great ones, and the people are taking the course into their own actions, into their own hands, and you see it, and mind you, and that's going to happen on a much broader scale here in Babylon. All right, people are going to people here in Babylon are going to eventually have that spirit come on to them where they're people going to say, fuck it. All right, they're going to take the course into their own actions, and cops, sheriffs, highway patrols, security guards, right? Even the military, right? Military personnel are not going to be viewed as how they're being viewed now. Like the most of the people kind of respect them right now.
Yep.
They're not really like trying to attack them. But real soon, that spirit's gonna come on to them with that fighting spirit where they're just gonna start attacking these motherfuckers. Okay?
Read this, the 17th. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to.
That second lockdown, at some point they're gonna start putting checkpoints at the borders of like each state. So and you're gonna actually need like some kind of prevention to prove that you are updated with the most updated,
Whatever thing they got out.
that the hot sauce or the fucking MC Hammer chip. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta be up to date with it in order for you to be able to go into the city. If not, you're not gonna be able to enter the city that you desire. But not only that too, you can also think about let's say like when it's a blackout.
Yep.
The EMPs and shit happen, right? Let's say that the fucking troops start coming out with the microphones, with the megaphones, it's like
mandatory curfew.
Mandatory curfew is a
Your
state
ass
of
back in your house.
emergency, and etc. Right? People are going to get caught off guard. People are not even going to be in the city where they live at, and now you're stupid ass stuck in it. You homeless, you broke now, right? Because the fucking the bank crashed.
Yep.
Right now you stuck. You headless, right? Woo! You headless as a woman, as a man, you headless because you didn't come back to YAHAWAH Yahawashi.
Yep. So
Right?
definitely have.
You're gonna be naked, meaning you're not gonna have the garment of the wisdom and knowledge of YAHAWAH covering you. All right, you're gonna be out there naked, spiritually. All right.
Verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be destroyed or troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
So a lot of these cities are about to start looking like the damn movies. All right, you're gonna see a lot of buildings on fire, right? You ain't gonna see the fire department coming down to try to order it out now. That's just burning. You don't see people breaking it into stores, into businesses, people's houses, people's cars, people's belongings, right? People are gonna start recording it and shit.
Yep.
People screaming, howling, catching hell. Just all hell breaking loose. All right. Especially during that second lockdown. Going on very soon.
This verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and great tribulation.
A man shall have no pity. Like, woo! A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Why? Because what? That scripture states what? That the love of many shall wax cold, right? Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Paraphrasing. Wickedness is going to continue to grow here, every day on out. That's going to get to the point where people are really going to have no love for each other. Like no love. All right. You're pretty much going to have to be in the spirit of pretty much like, you against the world, pretty much. But those that's in this truth, right? Those who are clothed with the spiritual garment, which is the wisdom and knowledge of YAHAWAH, right? All right. You don't have, yeah, you can look at the world you can look at it that way too. It's you against the world because what? You are not of the world. Yep. Right? Just as YAHAWAH is of the world.
The scriptures say you shall be hated for my name's sake.
Right.
This verse is paraphrased.
So the two thirds are also going to be in that same mindset. Dumb versus the world. Why? Because the love of many is going to wax so cold that what? Verse 19, that a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Because of what? The lack of bread, great tribulation. It's a lawless society. And when there's no laws, it creates what? Chaos. Right? Chaos. And we're a bird-like society. All right? So no, that's all we got to say to bring out to this lesson. Hey, where it was just in the beginning, Akim, just in the beginning. All right, so mind you, we're just in the beginning, Akim. It's only going to get worse, but better for the elect, because this is what we desire. I think the scripture goes into how blessed is he that see these things.
Yeah.
That comes past something along that line. So it's a blessing for those who believe in Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi.
So, hey, put on that seatbelt, man.
Better clamp on that belt. Put
on that harness.
Put on that fucking
yeah,
clamp,
that chest harness.
That clamp for the fucking roller coaster, because we're at the top right now in Rouge 2.
And it's about to go down.
Ooh, it's about to drop. All right. And once that shit drop, ain't no going back. All right. So Lord willing, unless it was edifying, we're going to close out by blessing the names of our power and giving them much due, all praises, honor, and glory to the names of our power. Yahawah, 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 Bahashem, Bahashem, THAWADAH, THAWADAH, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. In the ancient Hebrew tongue, these are the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. We also want to get double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who grew well and teach well. Much due respect to the sincere Akim who all labor and work. And Shalom, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. To the sincere believers, to the Akim wa Aqua, to be your brothers and sisters who subscribe to this truth. And as always, I'd like to end it with what? DTA, Abba soon. All right, Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
All right. Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi
Yahawashi.
Shalak Rayam Wa Nasa Abaya Wa Haraya Wa Masabaya Al-Kor Adawamya Hawaya Ayam Nawa Bakusha Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi THAWADAH Aman. All right. Shalom, Akim. Shalom.